What's up guys? In today's episode I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and pointers on how to get hired in the dealership world with no experience or little experience. So hope you guys enjoy it. Yo! What is up guys? Nick the Kai here. Let's Drift Media. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button down below, as well as drop a comment and leave a like. Really helps my YouTube videos get out there, and I really appreciate all you guys. So anyways, in today's episode, like I said, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and pointers and advice when it comes to getting your foot in the door at the dealership. I get a lot of DMs, people asking me like, hey Nick, like I have no experience or I haven't gone to school, but I know how to work on cars. Like, do you have any tips for me to go kill this interview to get into this dealership I'm trying to get into, or even a private independent shop? So I figured I'd make this video to hopefully answer you guys' questions and maybe get you guys better prepared to kill that interview and get that job. If you guys have been following for a while, you've probably seen my old video on how to get hired at a dealership, but this video is going to be a little bit better because I was able to actually have a bunch of questions to ask my service manager who hired me at Toyota to see what his advice was to relay that message to you guys, because I'm a technician who's gone to dealerships and applied and used my own tactics. But it was nice to get his feedback as an actual manager who does the hiring of the employees at the dealership. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. So I didn't have too much time to chat with him, but I did have 3 questions ready to ask him. So I'll go ahead and share those with you guys. First question I asked him was 3 things you look for when hiring a new applicant. And he told me work ethic, attitude, hunger, and desire. So although work ethic is kind of hard to judge a book from its cover when interviewing them, it's pretty easy to tell what someone's attitude is like when it comes to like work, and like if they're a hungry person, if they have that desire to kick ass in the field. I'm pretty sure you met like a lot of people and you can kind of just tell like they don't really have much drive, like they really don't give a damn, like they're just kind of floating along with the wave. So that is definitely for sure something that I would show if you're going into an interview. Like, you want to show those people up there that like you're ready to work, like you want to work, and like you're trying to like kick ass, because they're judging you as soon as you walk in there, and you don't want to walk in there like a little lazy guy looking like, oh, like I really don't care, because that's going to translate to them thinking, well, if we hire this guy and this guy doesn't really care for his interview, like how is he going to care on the job? And like that even goes for your appearance. Like anytime I've gone to an interview, like I get a fresh haircut, I'll put on some nice slacks and like a button-up t-shirt to like kind of show them that like a little bit of professionalism. Like, yeah, as mechanics, automotive technicians, it's like you're not suit and tied up, but like when going to the interview, that first impression it's really a big deal. So you want to go in there like showing them that you're serious, you're ready to work, and that you have some sort of professionalism with you. So then the second question I asked him is, what are some signs that people show that make you like not want to hire them, like kind of like a turnoff when it comes to hiring a new employee? And what he told me was lying, poor presentation, and no eye contact. So I mean, pretty much self-explanatory. Don't be lying on your resume, like saying you've worked here or you've done this or these are your certifications. What I've noticed in the dealership world, it's pretty easy. Word gets around. So like, say you got fired at this Toyota and then you're going to this Toyota, more than likely the service managers at this Toyota and that Toyota probably talk to each other, and it's not that hard to kind of hit them up behind the scenes and be like, hey, like what do you think about this guy? And they're gonna basically, I mean, legally, I don't think you can tell another employer that this person has gotten fired, but word gets around. So lying is just gonna kind of make you look bad, and like anytime they see some kind of dishonesty, if it's like already off the bat, why are they going to want to hire you when you can't even tell the truth from the get-go? And then poor presentation, like I was saying, you want to go in looking good and professional. You don't want to go in there looking like you just woke up out of bed or going in all hungover. Like that is definitely not a good idea, guys. And no eye contact. Honestly, when I was like got my first job at the original Toyota dealership, I did not make good eye contact because like I was very timid and nervous and like didn't have as much confidence in myself as I do now. So that's one thing I would recommend for like younger people out there trying to get a job. Like just make eye contact. Like, I guess it goes a big way. Like, if you're someone who like doesn't stare somebody at the eyes when you're talking, like, you don't have to stare dead at them like the entire interview, but like look them in the eyes when you're talking. Like, you could look away or something, but like I've interviewed people too. I can remember when I was loop foreman, that's what they call it, but I would interview loop techs, and I would remember the people that didn't look me in the eyes. And it's funny because you just kind of get like a weird vibe, like, why won't this freaking guy look at me? Like, what's wrong with him? But I mean, this is coming from Mike, seasoned manager, very big dog, so those are just some more tips I would add to that. And the last question I asked him, question number 3, would be advice for new applicants. Say somebody who's off the streets, not off the streets, but doesn't have any dealership backgrounds, never worked in a shop, like 18-year-old kid out of high school who's trying to get that grind going and trying to get into the dealership like a lot of you guys are. He told me, don't oversell yourself and be honest, which are very good tips. I always tell you guys, be honest, don't freaking lie, but don't oversell yourself. Even if you are having some experience in the working on cars, don't be going into the dealership or any job you're going to, matter of fact, saying like, oh yeah, I can do this, like, I know how to tear apart motors, I can diag any car. Like, they're gonna realize real quick that you were full of shit. And the one thing is with a lot of dealerships is when you get hired, you have a 3-month probation. So that's kind of like the 3 months that you're kind of on thin ice, and it's like, if you're like a trash employee, they have that 3-month period to like get rid of your ass. That's why I will say, like, as soon as you get hired somewhere, you need to go like 110, 150% to show them that you're about it, because it's pretty easy to tell once someone starts working if they actually can perform like they said they did in their interviews. So yeah, I feel like a lot of that should be common knowledge, but when I started out, I didn't know a lot of these things, and like everything was kind of new to me, so I kind of just went on a whim. But honestly, I had like a lot of these traits when going to new job interviews, because I can remember every job interview I went to, I kind of showed them that like I'm trying to work, like I'm not here to fuck around, like I'm gonna make my hours. Even my first interview at Toyota to be a loop tech, I remember I was super nervous because like this was like my first like real job in the industry. Like, I didn't really have any other real jobs before working at Toyota, so like I was super nervous. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and like I was probably like pretty scared, and they probably saw that, but maybe they liked it because they knew I was able to be molded and be the kind of worker that they're looking to have. But yeah, like I said, any interview I've gone to, I got fresh, put on some nice clothes, and tried to make eye contact. I'm sure I didn't do it as well in the beginning stages, but in my more recent interviews, I'm pretty sure I did a lot better of a job, but that was also because I was more confident in what I was bringing to their dealership. And the same with don't oversell yourself. I would say every interview I've gone to, I've basically told them what I can do and what I was capable of. Even this recent interview at Toyota, the one I'm working at now, they asked me like, can you diag? And I told them, honestly, I have a lot to learn. Like, I told them I'm a quick learner, but I'm not the best when it comes to diagnosis because I haven't really got that much experience diagnosing cars. I told them that I can work fast, I learn quickly, and I own up to my mistakes. But honestly, when it comes to diag, even right now, being in the industry now for like 8 years, but only being a tech for like 4 years, I'm still pretty nervous when it comes to a lot of things because there's a lot of things out there that I have not seen. But I think that's what helped me get into a lot of the jobs that I've gotten, was because I was straight up honest. Even when I got hired at BMW, they asked me like, hey, you've been with Toyota for like 6 years, like why do you want to jump ship and go to BMW? And I just told them that I feel like it's like a greater opportunity to make money for me in the long run, so I'm willing to sacrifice my pay right now in order to build that up in the future. Even though it didn't work out how I envisioned it back then, I think me being honest is just something that they respected. But besides that, coming back to the point where people fresh out of high school or something trying to get into a job, if you don't have school, it's going to be a little bit hard to just get into, even as a loop technician for sure. Without schooling or experience, you are not going to get hired as a flat rate technician at a dealership. If you do, you're like next level, like you're a beast, but you're going to have to start at the bottom. So at least if you have school or something, you can try and get in as a loop tech. Even if you don't have school, but you have automotive experience, possibly some ASE certifications, which I always tell you guys, you can probably get your foot in as a loop tech. But don't be so discouraged if you don't get hired at the bottom turning wrenches, because I've seen a number of people who started off as porters, even greeters, just welcoming guests in, parking cars, like literally the bottom, even like maintenance, like just cleaning the floors. Like, you can move your way up, so don't be discouraged. Yes, it will take time, but a lot of places I've worked at, they like to promote within. So if this is something you really want to do, don't be like intimidated, like, oh, I have to go to school just to do this. Like, just start at the bottom. Trust me, guys, if you work hard enough, they'll see it, and if they know that this is something you want to do, chances are you're gonna have a bright future at a dealership if you put in the work, of course. So just remember, it takes time. Don't feel like maybe you've been like changing oil for like a year or parking cars for a year and they're not doing anything. It takes time. So that's all I can say, guys. But just want to give a huge shout out to Mike Purpura, Lovelands Automotive, for helping me out with this video. Hopefully I'll be able to interview him one day as an independent shop owner. But just want to give a huge shout out to you, Mike. So that's all I got for this episode, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the time lapse. And don't worry, I'll be doing some more of those, as well as going live to give away that $100 Visa gift card. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace!
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that say stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up.